This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new Dragon Ball What If. This time we have the next part in What If Goku and Caulifla were siblings. This one has been a long time coming, and I promise we've been working on it for a while, but due to some complications, it was delayed, and I'm very sorry about that, but it's out and I really hope it's worth it. This might be my favorite part so far. If you haven't checked out the previous part, be sure to click the eye icon or in the description below. As you watch the video, be sure to comment down below your thoughts and predictions. And remember, the first day the video's out, I always answer comments. Anyways, let's begin with the story. My junior had arrived to warn everyone about his father, the Demon King Piccolo. Though they were skeptical at first, they heard him out. While listening, Bulma tinkered with Vegeta, making sure that he was alive. Goku asked her to repair him once they returned home, and my junior began to explain his story. In age 766, Goku dies of a heart virus shortly after returning from Yardred. As a result, he couldn't be brought back to life. A year after Goku's death, an army of demons led by Junior's father, the Demon King Piccolo, would suddenly appear one day to conquer the world. Kami would try to rally his forces in order to defend the planet, but alas, they would not succeed. Piccolo and his legion of demons raised the world, bringing humanity to near extinction, as well as killing nearly all of the Z fighters. The only ones who remain were Caulifla, Gohan, and Bulma. Kami was nowhere to be found. He had disappeared during the downfall of humanity, and no one had ever seen him since. Piccolo crowned himself as the ruler of Earth, as he and his children turned the world into living hell. My junior himself was the most powerful of Piccolo's offsprings, and he originally enjoyed killing people and causing destruction across the land. He would frequently battle Caulifla, who would attempt to save as many innocent survivors as he could. Over time, he grew to respect Caulifla as a worthy adversary, and slowly, he started to change, started to dislike torture and sadistic killings in favor of fighting powerful opponents. None of them should be able to stand a chance against the Saiyans. However, the help of a mysterious old man, turning the Demon King and himself into cyborgs, evened the odds. One day, Caulifla's luck would run out, as she is lured into a trap by a group of powerful demons. She fought violently for as long as she could, but she was soon overwhelmed, defeated by the Demon King. My junior could only look on and watch. Despite killing many innocent people himself over the course of his life, Ma Jr. could barely contain his emotions as he saw the only person he ever considered a rival be torn apart. With her dying breath, Caulifla looks over to Junior as she yells out defiantly that there will always be hope and that someone will rise to take her place. She smiled, saying that she would miss fighting Junior. She collapsed on the rubble below, lifeless. This single death changed Piccolo Jr.'s heart forever, feeling a devastating amount of remorse and hatred for his and his family's actions. Junior vowed to carry on Caulifla's will and fulfill her wish to save the world. After rebelling against the Demon King and siding with the human survivors that remained, Junior did his best to gain the trust of Gohan and Bulma. While Gohan continued to hate him for all the pain and horrors he caused, Bulma started to view Junior as their only hope. Eventually, Bulma created a time machine that would allow them to travel back in time. While Gohan trained and did his best to continue fighting, in the future, they entrusted Junior with being the pilot of the machine, hoping that this would allow him to save the world and atone for his sins. Now in the present, Piccolo Jr. hands the heart medicine to Goku. He continues to give on details, saying where the demons will arrive in 3 years' time, leaving for the future once more. Goku and Caulifla reunite with their friends. They ask about what happened to Raditz. The Z-Fighters explain that he was revived along with everyone that was dead during Namek. Most of them were hesitant on making the wish, but Gohan was very vocal in support of Raditz, since he had saved him back on Namek. They had tried to wish Caulifla and Goku back, but obviously the pair was still alive out there in space. With all the wishes made, the Namekians head back to Namek. However, the Earthlings had to wait for Goku and Caulifla. Nappa, who survived the battle on Namek, was teleported to Earth, and he decides that he'd rather not stick around anymore, choosing to never take orders from anyone. Plus, he couldn't stomach reuniting with Caulifla anytime soon. He heads off into space, forging a new path for himself. Raditz too follows his example, leaving to get stronger. However, he promises to return, unlike Nappa. Raditz trains on several far-off planets and asteroids, seeking to push himself beyond his limits. Despite his intense training and massive power boost, he wasn't able to unlock Super Saiyan just yet. After nearly a year of training, Raditz heads back to Earth. Once he returns, he's delighted to see Goku and Caulifla, and is excited about the battles against Ma Jr. and the rest of the demons. Raditz and his siblings begin to train for the next few years, with all of them shocked to see Gohan's fighting abilities. Not only was he powerful for his age, but he knew a multitude of turtle and crane school techniques. Caulifla and Goku decided to focus their efforts in training together and teaching Raditz and Gohan how to unlock Super Saiyan. Vegeta meanwhile stayed at Capsule Corp, being rebuilt with more human-looking characteristics, and even getting a gravity room. However, under the constant pressure of the gravity, his cybernetic limbs would often be destroyed, and Bulma would have to reinforce them. But slowly, they get to know each other. One day, Vegeta went to find Caulifla and her brother during training, where he offered them a truce, as long as he's able to keep getting medical backups from Bulma, and they leave the Demon King to him. He'll put revenge aside for now. Caulifla and Raditz are on the edge as they don't trust Vegeta, but Goku tells them to calm down, make them promise to not attack him. He believed that there was some good in the prince.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
I hope you're enjoying today's Dragon Ball What If story. Be sure to click the link in the description below for 10% off your first purchase over at Squarespace. Squarespace allows you to connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated, members-only content, manage your memberships, send email communications, and leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. Creating a healthy community is imperative to a good website, and Squarespace allows for threaded comments, replies, and likes. There are even third-party extensions for e-commerce, from inventory to product promotion, and streamlined bookkeeping. Squarespace is a great way to centralize all your website needs. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/SmugStick to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Anyways, back to the story.
And now back to our show.
During this time, Caulifla and Tien grow further apart. Their time away did cost some toll, and the visions that Caulifla had on Yardrat definitely changed her view of the world. But Raditz gets along with Chaozu. Finally, the day where the androids' attack comes. They catch up a little bit, and they're all surprised to see a little baby Trunks on Bulma's arms. They wonder what happened to him in the future. The awkwardness is interrupted by an explosion that happens down below, with Yamcha and Chaozu being attacked by the assailants. Dr. Gero smiles and welcomes the fighters, recognizing them from their old encounter. Without anything else to say, Gero points at them, and his two allies rush in. He says,
"Symbol, drum, kill them."
Yamcha and Chaozu struggle to block their attacks, and they are ultimately subdued. But Vegeta, Goku, Caulifla, and the rest of the Z-Fighters arrive. Symbol and Drum fight the Z-Fighters, with Super Saiyan Vegeta, Goku, and Caulifla being more than enough to take them on. However, during the altercation, Goku has a heart attack. He hadn't taken his heart medicine. In the commotion, Gero manages to weasel away. Caulifla tells everyone but Tien, Gohan, and Vegeta to leave in order to take care of Goku and the injured. They have to look for Dr. Gero, eventually finding him at an HQ. They blast the doors open, but the door is simply slapped away by a large, dark figure. Gero stands next to a young Namekian, and behind them, the Demon King Piccolo. Caulifla curses under her breath. Gero explained just how he managed this. He wanted revenge for what Caulifla did to him. He was willing to do anything. He released the Demon King soon after she betrayed him and defeated the other androids. He helped Piccolo by enhancing him and his children technologically, even adding a power absorption mechanism. They are more powerful than they could have ever imagined. King Piccolo dismissed Gero as he summoned forth Ma Jr. and Tambourine. Vegeta took notice of Jr. That was definitely the Namekian from the future. Everything was lining up so far. The battle was taken outside, where Super Saiyan Raditz and future Ma Jr. soon arrived. Future was afraid to battle his younger self in case he messed up the timeline even further, so he instead took on Tambourine. He knew exactly how to defeat him, as they had fought together many times. But something surprised him. This Tambourine was stronger than the one he knew. Even his younger self was already comparable to himself now. Perhaps him warning the Z-Fighters about the androids and them getting stronger actually caused the demons to get stronger themselves. Vegeta went straight for the Demon King. This proved to be a grave mistake, as Piccolo simply caught Vegeta by the face and began to absorb his energy. But something was wrong. What Piccolo didn't expect was for Vegeta to be largely a cyborg himself, which limited the energy that he could collect. Vegeta launched himself backwards and began to fire ki bullets at Piccolo. The king blocked them all and commanded Jiro to set off, causing the entire mountain to shake. Hordes of demons rushed out of the cave and towards the fighters as a giant sky fortress broke the mountain apart and took off. Ma Jr. smirked, telling them that they'd meet again. He rushed to his father's side as the rest of the demons were left behind for the Z fighters to take care of. It was an arduous fight, but Piccolo explained that only the main demons were cyborgs. These were mere babies. They could take them on. Demon King Piccolo waved off the request from Jiro to first find Son Goku. This caught Caulifla's attention. Sure enough, Vegeta, Gohan, Tien, Raditz, and Caulifla took down most of the army, leaving behind only Tambourine. The demon realized that he was outnumbered and decided to do as much damage as possible by self-destructing in the name of Piccolo. Caulifla saves Gohan while everybody else defends themselves, but their damage is great. It is clear that they need to regroup and plan things out if they wish to defeat the Demon King. Vegeta left to be by himself, while the rest returned to Goku's house and moving to Kame House, where Piccolo would be less likely to look. With Caulifla approaching Piccolo Jr. and demanding to know why they are so powerful, Piccolo explained what could have happened. Jiro had enough information about them and had been spying on them for long enough to catch up if they did get stronger. He was always one step ahead. But he did say that there was hope. He knew that his father would soon get tired of Dr. Jiro and kill him. Without him, they would no longer be able to get cybernetic enhancements. Without Goku, they didn't know what to do. But that's when Caulifla snapped. She yelled at everyone that even without Goku, they could not give up. That wasn't in their nature. She sighs, saying that she has an idea. The hyperbolic time chamber. Piccolo is surprised that she knows about that place. His father destroyed the lookout. In the future, he was surprised that they hadn't used the hyperbolic time chamber to train before. Caulifla explained that it was a really harsh environment, and that she tried it as a kid and didn't want to ever do it again. But now, they have no other choice. Slowly, Goku is returned to health, and the first thing he feels is destruction all over Earth as the Demon King Piccolo fires blast after blast of energy. But Dr. Jiro continued to tell Piccolo that he needs Goku dead. Goku and that Caulifla girl. King Piccolo was thankful to Dr. Jiro, but he wasn't going to take this, killing him in a single blast. The team knows that they have to stop King Piccolo at all costs, so they take turns going into the hyperbolic time chamber while the others do hit-and-run tactics on the Demon King. The first team to enter is Caulifla and Vegeta, while the second is Goku and Gohan. The third, Piccolo Jr. and a Caulifla that insisted on going again. But through these sessions, no one got stronger, at least to their own knowledge, than Goku and Gohan. Kami was afraid of what was going on. He knew that the Demon King Piccolo would return one day, but he didn't expect it this way. And seeing this future version of Piccolo Jr. made him even more afraid. What else could be out there? His answer soon came, as when Piccolo Jr. stepped out of the hyperbolic time chamber, not only did he feel the key of Kami, King Piccolo, and his present self, but one more similar key signature, that of another Demon King Piccolo. How was this possible, he asked himself, but there was no doubt in his mind. That Demon King Piccolo was the one from his future timeline. He had somehow arrived from the future. In order to find him, he thought he was safe here. He knew he had deterred his plans in the future. He never knew that his father would find out what he did. Caulifla and the rest ask what the hell he's talking about. That's when Piccolo Jr. takes out a bottle, showing it to them. Kami knew instantly what that was. Inside it was future Kami, trapped in there by the Mafuba. King Piccolo had trapped him away a long time ago, and had intended to fuse back with him in order to become even stronger. When Piccolo Jr. found out about this, he took the bottle and returned to the past, trying to give Gohan and future Bulma an edge. But King Piccolo had found out about it, and now he was here. Now it's even more dangerous than ever, because not only is one Kami here, but there's another one in the form of present Kami too. Caulifla focused her ki, realizing where that other Demon King was. He was approaching the Sky Fortress. She joked that if they're lucky, they'll just kill each other, but Piccolo wasn't sure. He needed to go there as fast as possible. Caulifla offered to help, as Vegeta and Goku went into the hyperbolic time chamber together. Meanwhile, at the Sky Fortress, present King Piccolo is approached by the future version of himself. The future version had just finished choking out a number of soldiers that stood in his way. Present Piccolo couldn't believe what was going on. He was clearly stronger than himself. Ma Jr. was determined to protect his father and rushed in to help, but no matter what he did, he was clearly not standing a chance. Future King Piccolo explained everything. He came from a future where he killed not only his own son, but Gohan, Bulma, and the rest. Even after killing his son, he couldn't find the bottle where Kami was hid, so he stole the time machine and went to the past, knowing he would find Kami there. Nobody understood why he was so strong still, though, and he finally said,
When I said that I killed my son, I didn't mean just that. There is a forbidden technique among Namekians that allows us to fuse with one another. I used every member of my army. I absorbed my son, and now I'm going to absorb yours.
But present King Piccolo wasn't going to let that happen. Present King Piccolo was old and decrepit. He hadn't found the Dragon Balls just yet, unlike the future King Piccolo. In his mind, if he died, Ma Jr. would be the ruler of Earth. In a flash, and with the only strength he had left, present King Piccolo pushed his son out of the way, as he was absorbed into the future version of himself. Ma Jr. couldn't believe that his father did that. And as the blinding light consumed the Demon King, he rushed away, hiding his ki as fast as possible. From outside the Sky Fortress, Caulifla and Future Ma Jr. watched as the smoking Sky Castle was engulfed by light. There was an incredible power in there, something they had never felt before, and they watched as Present Piccolo Jr. jumped out of it. Caulifla was going to go after him, but Piccolo stopped her. This was more important. Future Ma Jr. and Caulifla go after Piccolo Jr. He yells at them to hide their ki, or he will kill him. He obviously looks terrified. Caulifla doesn't want to listen. She wants to kill him, but Future Ma Jr. tells her to stop, to sense his ki. He's terrified. The younger one explains exactly what just happened to his father, and Future realizes that present King Piccolo couldn't have been that bad if he sacrificed himself for his son. They look back and see that Future King Piccolo is heading towards the lookout. He's going after Kami. Present Piccolo Jr. promises to kill him. In the meantime, King Piccolo arrives at the lookout. All of the Z fighters are willing to defend Kami. Raditz, Krillin, etc. Vegeta's the only one that doesn't care about him. He just wants a good fight. Goku and Gohan are in the hyperbolic time chamber, and though the Z fighters do their best, King Piccolo is way too much, and they're slowly defeated. Piccolo asks where the hell Goku and Gohan are. Even Vegeta doesn't tell him. With the trash out of the way, Vegeta powers up into Super Vegeta, and he actually starts to do fairly well against future Demon King Piccolo. As he starts to get pushed back, King Piccolo looks at Vegeta directly in the eyes, asking him if he wants to see him at his strongest. This sparks Vegeta's curiosity. Popo pleads with Vegeta, but when he realizes there's nothing he can do, Popo runs everybody to the teleporter. And yes, there is a teleporter in Kami's lookout, in some filler. But if you want to ignore that, let's say he took the flying carpet. They all escape, hiding their ki, but Popo stays behind. He wants to look after Kami. Vegeta steps to the side to let him absorb Kami, but Mr. Popo steps in the way. Wanting to protect his friend, Kami tears up as Popo is slapped to the side. Without another word, King Piccolo places his hand over Kami, who is slowly absorbed. Vegeta's eyes widen as King Piccolo's power skyrockets. It isn't long until Vegeta's getting the crap kicked out of him. Sensing the battle at the lookout, Caulifla arrives to see the downed Vegeta and wounded Raditz fighting against future Demon King Piccolo. Raditz and Caulifla fire a massive combined ki blast, the Double Sunday Tri-Beam. It distracts Demon King Piccolo just for long enough for the remaining Z fighters to escape. As the blast dissipates and the siblings nearly run out of power, Caulifla uses the last of her strength to use a solar flare to stun future Demon King Piccolo, grabbing Raditz to escape. She yells at Vegeta to come with her, but the prince spits to the ground. He'd rather die fighting than take pity from a low-class Saiyan. As Vegeta continues the fight, Caulifla heads into the lookout where she finds Popo and the teleporter. She tells Popo he needs to leave with them too, but he shakes his head, tearing up as he tells her that somebody has to press the button for the teleporter. Popo tells her that she needs to survive and save the world. It's what Kami would have wanted. Caulifla and Popo have a tearful goodbye as she and the other Saiyans are teleported away. Demon King Piccolo enters the teleporter room as Popo destroys the machine. Demon King Piccolo is angered that his prey got away as Popo stands defiantly against him once again. His reign of terror will end soon. He's clearly extremely hurt from the slap, but his heart still beat for the love of his friends. King Piccolo laughs, gloating that he can easily take that all away away as he kills Popo. Piccolo laughs maniacally until he remembers, through Kami's memories, about the time chamber. That's right, the time chamber. That's where Goku and Gohan are. Suddenly, he feels a presence stepping out from behind him. This terrific power, even stronger than Vegeta. Goku and Gohan smirk. Piccolo is confident that he can still win. Goku tells King Piccolo that they should fight somewhere more appropriate. Piccolo laughs, saying that yes, their final battle should also mean the end of humanity's reign and the birth of the demons. So he tells them to meet him the next day at the King's castle for the first annual Piccolo Day. King Piccolo leaves. As Goku and Gohan help Vegeta, they head to find their friends at Kame House. The Z-Fighters plan. They have no time to train or prepare. What power they have now will have to do, but Goku talked to Caulifla alone. Future Piccolo Jr. and present Piccolo Jr. step outside together. They don't say a word to each other. The two discuss what has happened, and Future tries to tell the present one that his path may be different, to just look at his future self. He can be a good person. The younger one tries to ignore it, but Future Piccolo isn't there for him. He takes out the bottle that contains Future Kami. He thinks it's finally time to use it, at least before Demon King Piccolo can. He frees Kami, who tries to attack him immediately, but recognizes where he's at. He's at Kame House, and inside he sees all of his old friends. He starts to tear up as he sees them all for the first time in many years. Future Piccolo Jr. explains what's been going on, and that he's sorry about everything that happened, but it was necessary to keep him in the bottle in case his father ever returned. But now that he's here, they need to team up. He requests Kami's help, as the two of them need to fuse. After some convincing, Kami agrees, giving birth to future Kamikolo. Back at Kame House, Caulifla and Goku discuss what they should do. Caulifla tries to think of a plan, but Goku tells her to relax. He has complete faith in them winning. Caulifla barks at Goku, demanding to know why he's so calm, as he nonchalantly tells her that he believes in her and Gohan. She stops, as she thinks to herself if she can really unlock the hidden potential that Pibara showed her so long ago. And Gohan, he was incredibly powerful for his age, and his crane/turtle style were impeccable. Maybe they did stand a chance. The day of reckoning arrived, as the Z-Fighters turned up at the King's castle, which had been remade into a dark, gothic castle. King Piccolo has created a few more offsprings for them to fight. They waste no time and begin the battle. Goku and future Piccolo Jr. versus King Piccolo. Present Piccolo Jr. is called a traitor, but he ignores it as he fights the offsprings. King Piccolo is a lot stronger than they expected. Even Kami's absorption wasn't enough. Goku and him get thrown to the side as Caulifla and Gohan take over. Still not enough, but they were doing a lot better. Demon King Piccolo detects the nearby Z-Fighters, blasting them away as he holds Tien hostage. He slowly tortures Caulifla and Gohan, egging them on, telling them that if they fight back, then he will kill Tien. The Demon King fires a finger beam that breaks Gohan's arm, and he screams out in pain. Tien tells them both to forget him, to defeat the monster, but Caulifla is enraged. She can't allow that to happen. She's mad at both the Demon King and herself for being unable to tap into her full power. Caulifla can't believe she's losing. She no longer has any hope. All that remains is Gohan. But as she thinks this, she starts to blank out, losing hope. But as she does this, she realizes that there's a blast coming directly at her and Gohan. She can't react. There's not enough time. Gohan's scared, but something steps in the way. Future Piccolo spreads his arms out in front of Gohan and Caulifla, protecting them both. His clothes are tattered as he falls back. He's dying. There's nothing they can do. Gohan holds his hand as he passes away. Piccolo looks at Gohan and then at Caulifla. He says that he always regretted what he did to her, and because of that, future Gohan never trusted him. He wanted to do something to prove himself, to redeem himself. He was happy that at least in the end, he ensured present Gohan just how much him and his family meant to him. Future Piccolo died. Caulifla teared up. She couldn't let go of Piccolo's hand as Gohan next to her stood up, tears flowing from his eyes. Electricity began to spark up as he transformed into a Super Saiyan 2. In an instant, Gohan defeated every single one of the offsprings, and then faced against King Piccolo. King Piccolo didn't stand a chance. He slowly started to be pushed back. King Piccolo thought of absorbing the remaining Ma Jr., but Gohan wouldn't let him approach him at all. He couldn't get anywhere close. Piccolo Jr. was thankful for this. He realized he was being protected by the people he swore to kill. Maybe he could have a change of heart. Piccolo starts to get desperate and he believes that the only way to finish this is to destroy Earth itself. He begins to charge a demon flash. He gives Piccolo Jr. one more chance to join him, telling him that they can destroy Earth, ending this all as father and son, but Piccolo refuses. He actually takes a stand in front of Gohan and fires a ki blast of his own. It's nowhere near as powerful as King Piccolo's, and that's what matters to Gohan. Right behind the younger Piccolo, Goku fires a Kamehameha, Caulifla a Tri-Beam, and finally Gohan a Dodon Hameha, the culmination of the Turtle and Crane style. King Piccolo damns the world as even Vegeta cheers them on. The Demon King is finally defeated. Though they cheer for a second, it's extremely bittersweet. Everyone wonders what they can do now since Kami is dead and there are no longer Dragon Balls. They can't let future King Piccolo die. That's when Gohan snaps. Dende, the little kid they met on Namek. Goku agrees to bring him back in order for him to become Guardian of Earth. They revive Piccolo, Popo, and everyone else that was killed during the altercation and return Earth back to its former glory. Piccolo doesn't stay there for long, though he does thank Gohan and his younger self, telling him to train hard, but the younger one simply scoffs. He's still unsure of what he wants to do. Future Piccolo Jr. returns to the future, where his new power proves to be enough to save everyone. This is enough to regain the trust of Bulma and the others, but before he leaves, he says his final goodbyes to Caulifla as he asks her to take care of his present self, to which she agrees. Piccolo Jr. decides to stay at the lookout as everyone celebrates around him, and thus 7 years of peace begin. Caulifla and Tien reconcile as they decide to remain best friends. Though she does move away from Tien and Chaozu, Caulifla decides that it's about time to return to her adoptive family's home in the lands of Pilaf. Raditz comes along as well, and he is introduced to Caulifla's parents and sister. He nearly tears up when they welcome him into their family. As for Goku, Gohan, and Chi-Chi, well, let's just say a new member of the family would be welcomed soon. Dende walks up next to Piccolo as they two look down from the lookout. Dende asks him what he's thinking about, and Piccolo simply scoffs, saying,
Those humans sure are interesting.
Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Huge thanks to Professor Chimp for helping me out with this story. Because of all the time travel, it was getting confusing, but I think we made it work. And also, huge thanks to Rajmain, the editor for this video. He did an amazing job. Sorry about not uploading a new What If Goku Was Betrayed and Trapped in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber this week. We've had a good streak of doing it every single week since the first episode came out, but because of the end of the semester and me graduating college, it looks like this time I'll have to skip to next week. But here's a little preview for you guys. Here is the thumbnail. Shout out to the Super Saiyan God, and Ultra Instinct members of the channel. So, a huge thank you to Nuka Draco, Enterprise System, The Baked Potato, Eric Dragon, All Might, Midnight Combatant, Neo Woodcomb, Sacred Saiyan, Theo J. Akir, Pizza Hut Kitman, Orlando Castellano, Hannah Rowan, Sir Justice, The Real Samuel Randall, and Zachary Croy. Memberships start at just $1.99 a month, and it's a great way to support the channel. Thank you, members. I wouldn't be here without you. And I want to give a special thank you to All Might and Neo Woodcomb, the current Ultra Instinct members of the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this part, and remember, I'm always answering comments the first day the video is out. Anyways, until we meet again. See ya!